I think and now it's going. No, now it's going. When I try once more, it is going. Okay. I'll check it. If anything happens, I'll call you or Bhagirath. Fine. Okay. Good evening. Welcome back to Unacademy, India's largest online platform where you're able to access the top educators at a single destination. I hope I'm audible, visible. If you're facing any technical error in between, let me know. And yesterday I planned for the section, but I was not well, so fine. So any technical, okay. Yeah, any technical errors you are facing, please let me know that we will resolve it and we'll do it. Any sound breakage or anything. So this is all working in internet sometimes. Okay, not frequently. So welcome back to the classes. So what you get from an academy is you get daily live classes, live testers, quizzes, structured course and unlimited access. You can also download it from Google Play Store, also from the App Store. And about me, I'm Liyamol Biju. I have completed my master's in English. I'm a research scholar. I have experience as career counselor and more than 3 years of teaching experience. This is my Telegram channel link. See, please do update with my Telegram channel. So where you get it is in the description box. Why? Because I will send notes. I will send important editorials and all I used to send, and you get questions like this. Means also there was questions or whatever I feel important for this examination mix. I'll be scrutinizing it and then only I'll be sending it. So please do join the Telegram for the updates and notification. This is regarding my Unacademy profiling. Now I'm conducting classes on MCQ section, that is 60 minutes MCQ. It is a good section where you are able to crack it. It is a free section, that is free live classes at 8 p.m. So what you have to do in order to join it, there is something known as Liyamol's course link will be given in the description box. And here we provide you with top educators at a single destination, and we cover the exact syllabus for UPSC. What is it? Not in bits and parts, but clear it completely in a holistic approach. You can prepare with us for prelims, mains, and interview. So this is regarding the plus courses. We have two type of subscription plan, that is plus course. In plus course, you get live classes, test series, unlimited practice, structured schedule. Done. So 1 month is like 9,000 rupees, 3 months is like 22,500 rupees, 6 months is like 40,500 rupees, 12 months is like 49,500 rupees. Okay, this is the actual price. But if you are using my code, that is BIJU, and enrolling to the course, you get it for discount of 10%, and you get it for 44,550 rupees. That is 49,000 rupees. You get it for 44,550 rupees. This 24 months course and 36 months course. Especially this will be very useful for the degree students, ongoing bachelors. No, you want to prepare after your degree without wasting much time. So this is one of the best options you can go for. That is 24 months is like 72,000 rupees. You get it for 64,800 rupees using the code BIJC. EMI options is provided. That is, you can pay it monthly by installments. Live classes, in Iconic course, you get live classes, test series, unlimited practice, structured schedule, personal coach, daily question, mains answer practice, study planner, and a personalized feedback. 12 months is like 69,500 rupees. You get it for 62,500 rupees. 24 months is like 1,07,000 rupees. You get it for 96,300 rupees. And 36 months is like 1,41,000 rupees. You get it for 1,26,900 rupees using the code BIJU. And this is regarding the optional plan. See, make sure that you are joining the optional courses and you are planning it and you are studying it fully, because now optional decides whether you have to be in or out. See, general paper and all, almost everybody will be scoring similar, but this optional paper really help you to be your next step towards interview or you're being out. So make thorough with your optional. 1 month is like 5,000 rupees, 6 months is like 22,500 rupees, 12 months is like 27,500 rupees. You get it for 24,750 rupees using the code BIJ. You can pay it by 2,000, not 60, not 63 rupees per monthly, and 24 months like 40,000, 36,000. You get it using the code BIJU. And we have already started new batches. That is, yesterday we started a batch that is on 11th January. And now we are going to discuss about one of the most interesting plans and interesting gift, that is 3 months UPSC CSE GS plus subscription. You get it if you participate and win in UPSC Compact. What you have to do is UPSC Compact. Into the group, I'll be sending the link of the group so you can download it, the Unacademy profile app, and you get UPSC Compact, that is on 17th. And 4 to 150 rank, you get 1,000 rupees vouchers. So contest format like 45 minutes, 60 questions, 13 combats, 6 section, and relative scoring will be conducted alternative Sundays. And this is on this January 17. Don't miss the competition. It is one of the best competition. You get it, UPSC Unacademy UPSC Compact. So how to participate in it is simply you have to download it. You have to go for the things and you just enroll it. So you get the link description here in the UPSC Compact. I'll send you, if you have not downloaded the app, I'll send the link of the app to download in the group. Fine, this is the started courses which you have started. That is 6 months exclusive batches, 1 year batch and 2 year batch. So somebody have the doubt whether if you're joining for one course in an academy, only able to access that course. It is not like that. You can enroll in a number of courses, so that if you're having any doubt regarding anything, you can just ask me regarding the courses. That is, if you're joining into an academy, you can join in any courses which is being launched by the educators, by a combination batches will be started. You can join in that. That is, sometimes we will be providing you with economy exclusive batch. Apart from all these tips, you can join in whatever the courses which is being uploaded by the Unacademy. Also, you can watch the previous recorded videos also. Live classes and recorded videos without any restrictions. You can watch it n number of times. And this is regarding the UPSC optional plus GS. If you're subscribing together, that is 12 months is like 88,705 rupees. You get it for 70,103 rupees. 24 months is like 1,31,150 rupees. You get it for 99,680 rupees. 36 months is like 1,67,200 rupees. You get it for 1,21,200 rupees. You can use the code BIJU and get a EMI option. Like you have to pay only 3,367 rupees per month for the 3-year subscription. That is, for 12 month subscription, you have to pay 5,842 rupees per month. So we are in a plan to hike the prices in Iconic course. In Iconic course, what is the more important? You get additional study booster section. Also, you have a customized study planner. It is depending upon it. You can connect with a personal coach. So we'll be helping you to sort out your differences, your mistakes, etc. Now we are going to start the section. Yeah. So I hope you are clear with the past section, whatever being taken, right? Are you okay with the previous sections, whatever? I hope you are all clear with the portions. You understand the difference between what is a nation, what is a state, what other things are. Now we are going to see something more important. Yes, everything is important. Some more terms. Yeah. Then we'll be discussing the important portions on that. I don't know this, what happened is. Yeah, everything is provided is fine, I guess. And I'm keeping the phone somewhere here so that everyone can see it. So now we are going to see. Have you ever heard the term constitutionalism? Have you ever heard the term constitutionalism? Yes, there is a term known as constitutionalism. And now we are going to see Indian Constitution, historical underpinning and its evolution. This is a chapter name. Right. So before starting that, I don't know how I missed it, but I missed it. I've just rechecked. Okay, I rechecked if something I missed it. I so missed the concept of constitutionalism. So I thought we'll be discussing the concept of constitutionalism as such. Done. So we already know what is a constitution, right? Don't worry, I have given notes for this. Please do listen. Not everything, but notes will be there. So first we discuss what is constitution. Now we are going to see once more what is constitution. A constitution is a set of rules for the government to govern the country. Constitution is otherwise, we already given another definition. This is one more thing you can simply write. Constitution is a set of rules. Yes, for the government to govern the country and defines the nature of polity of that country. It defines the nature of polity of that country, right? Why you need a constitution? Constitution is needed because for the welfare state. Don't worry, we'll go to the section itself today. And right, it is for a welfare state. If your constitution is there, it will be provided with everything. Whatever being needed, that is our belief. So you need a welfare state. A constitution is something very important. Okay, so the simple question is, what is the function of constitution? I will be concentrating mainly upon this Lakshmikanth itself, so that is a better always for this short period. But I will also explain additional things so that it will be easy for you. See, something you are doing, no, you have to do it in a perfect thing. Otherwise, I think you may not be knowing. So reading Lakshmikanth, you may not get what is the function of constitution. This is a question you get for your mains. Fine. Constitution, function of first function is to express, yes, express the ideology. Rules and regulation, yes, that is right. Expression of basic law. Expression of basic law. Organizational framework. And is levels of government. Fine. So these are the main functions of the constitution, that is express the ideology, express the basic law, organizational framework, levels of government. Don't think this is a waste of time. Definitely no, this is something you get for your mains. Many of you think that prelims by reading Lakshmikanth all alone you get mains. It is not true. Lakshmikanth is a very good book. Why? No, because it has consolidated whatever being there in the constitution with wonderful examples and explanations. That is the why everybody asks you to refer Lakshmikanth. Yes, there are many other books also, but Lakshmikanth is best. So everybody asks you to read it. So now we'll see the functions of constitution. The first thing is express the ideology. So what is it? So what is the ideology of Indian Constitution? Our ideology is based on secular and socialist system, right? Our ideology is basically based on secular and socialist system. So that is the ideology. Express the ideology. What we are expressing is, we are expressing the secular and the socialist system being expressed there. Fine. So what is it? It reflects the philosophy. If I'm going fast, let me know. If you are not getting any points also, please let me know that. We are discussing the first point. Expression of ideology. So what is the main ideology of India? It is a secular state, socialist and secular state. So it reflects the what? It basically reflect, what is it? It reflects the ideology and philosophy. It reflects the ideology and philosophy of the constitution. Fine. Second is expression of basic laws. Simply, humbly, the laws will be discussed here. Expression of basic laws, like the constitution will be modified or replaced through a process. Yes, Western secularism is different from Indian secularism. In some countries, it is a secular state, means sometimes there is no religion. There is sometimes you are having a particular religion. It is different. But in India, the secularism means it is a different concept, fully a different concept. So don't worry, we'll be discussing what is Indian secularism is all about in coming days. Fine. And that is it. An organizational framework. What is? It defines what is the function of government. Organizational framework means it defines the function of government. Organizational framework. So levels of government. What is it? Levels of government. How many levels of government are there in India? How many levels of government are there in India? It different organs of the government, different levels of the government will be discussed here. So that is it. The term is fine. Don't want to much show about it. You got an idea about it, right? Now we'll see the next important concept. And two. Only two level. Yeah, two. We are also having decentralized power, that is Panchayat Raj institution. Basically, we are having two levels of government, that is right. And classification of constitution. I don't know. I missed all this portion. Classification of constitution. Then we'll move to this historical background. Fine. What is this? First one is unitary constitution. Unitary constitution. Federal constitution. Fine. And written constitution. So these are the three different type of constitution which you are coming across in the world. Or any other one is the unitary constitution, federal constitution, written constitution, and we are having unwritten constitution. Fine. These are the four different types of constitution. Unitary type means in unitary thing, no, there won't be any division of power. Everything will be belonging to the central government. Central government decides, central government rule, and it is like that. Do you feel like having biryani? I don't know, in between this ads and all is coming, sorry. So federal constitution, written constitution, and unwritten constitution. What is this federal constitution? It is like sharing power between two positions. Written constitution, you know, unwritten constitution is also being very familiar with it. So this is what you are now. And now we are going to discuss one of the important term, that is constitutionalism. Fine, this is really important. Constitutionalism is a system of governance in which the power of government is limited by laws, checks and balances. So you're having a checks and balances in order to reconcile authority with the individual and collective freedoms. Fine. So constitution is both different. Okay. So it is like that you are having a constitution. That doesn't mean that you are having a constitutionalism. Constitution is not equal to constitutionalism. So it is like every dictator in the world could create, means everybody, somebody in North Korea who's being the Kim Jong-un. I always pronounce his name like fine. He is a dictator. He is an authoritarian government. He set some rules and he's telling that you are being there. So it is a constitution. Then that is a constitution in North Korea, but there is no constitutionalism in North Korea. Fine. So then what is this constitutionalism? It is like limiting the government. Constitutionalism is something that is limiting the government. Fine. Constitution is not equal to constitutionalism. If you are setting a rule of books and you are telling there is a constitution, it does not mean that constitutionalism. Please do remember the example of this Korea. Is my voice breaking or something like that? Any technical errors, something? Fine. The principle of constitution must be understood. Opposition to? Hello? Yeah, fine. So it is like something that is limiting the government. This constitutionalism means it is limiting the government. It keeps checks and balances in the government. Fine. So did you understand about constitution and constitutionalism in general? Are you clearing with the concepts? You know, this concepts is sometimes difficult. So what is this checks and balances? In India, we are having different institutions. So if you have a legislature fail, there is judiciary. If executive fail, there is judiciary. And we are also having an intermingling relationship with executive, judiciary and legislature, even though it is not direct, because we are having separation of power. The concept of separation of power is there. Fine. So it is something deflecting the democratic law of a country. The constitutionalism is something that discusses the democratic law of a country. Fine. In between ads are coming. I don't know. Fine. So you got the concept of this constitution, constitutionalism and all. So idea is clear, right? So this is like there is a possibility of asking a difference between constitution and constitutionalism. Namaste. The difference between Constitution and constitutionalism is a possible area in your mains. First, I decided to cover the prelims all around, but I thought, okay, we'll do this mains perspective also. Then only you will be benefited. Don't worry, but we'll be more concentrated in prelims, okay? And now we are going to see what is our topic today. Indian Constitution, historical underpinning and its evolution. So what is your idea about how the Constitution is being evoluted, how the Constitution is being created? What is your idea is all about? You're able to see the screen, right? So someone. So what is your idea about it? So historical underpinning is like, don't think that historical underpinning, historical background of Indian polity is something like that, many rules being passed. No, yes, of course, there are many rules being passed. It is not only the rules along being passed. Why that rule? What are its impacts on the society? Is that rule is having still impact in Indian society? So we are going to examine all these stuffs. Okay, I have made it most simple way. This rules has been made in very simple way so that you can understand it, you can analyze it, you can study it. Fine. Use this notes because this acts and all is being very big under things and all is not needed for your prelims. Whatever is required for your prelims perspective is being given. Mains you have to add some more additional points. So the mains thing I'll discuss here, but you add that notes for prelims. Fine. So when you're coming to the evolution of Indian Constitution, you cannot start directly from Regulating Act of 1773. Basically, it is beginning from the what? Your ancient, your medieval times. I think all those rules has been studied in here. Medieval India we have discussed, right? So we can say that two phases being there for this basic British rule in India. I'm just taking some page to write it. Don't worry, this notes being there, I don't want to. Fine. So what is it? Basically, you can see the administration of India dated back to the medieval and the century, right? Like ancient and medieval India. So we are also having different schools evolved. What is this? Manusmriti. You might have heard of. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Manusmriti. Fine. So you might have heard about this Manusmriti. This is an ancient work. Who wrote an Manusmriti? Dharma Shastra. Nyaya Shastra. So Manusmriti, Dharma Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, the different books. And one more thing is the Artha Shastra. So these are the different books, or based on these different books, India was being ruled by the rulers. Even it is in ancient times or in medieval times, you can see the influence. When it was in medieval time, Mughals or Sultanate created their own courts, their own enacted it. But the problem, no, there was no concept of a unified India or united India. This concept itself arrived when Britishers come to India after they started to what? After they started to what is it? Complete now. Try to complete it. After they started to colonize India, the word you have to use is not capture or something, but colonialization. So also we have seen that drain theory, economic consequences. So when you're coming to this British India, there were many consequences was there. Okay. So we'll see the economic, what, political and social consequences, economic, political and social consequences by which created impact on Indian society. When you coming to economic consequences, you basically have to remember two theories. See, these are all part of polity, okay? Drain theory and theory of deindustrialization. When you're writing this mains answer in a history portion, you get it. In polity also this is impact. So this is one of the most economic, this is one of the impact which is being created by the Britishers in India. First one is two consequences. What is this drain theory? Simply humbly, they drained us. They taken every single penny which Indian had, they looted us. They were pickpocketers. You may happen to being visited in some railway station or sometimes, and what happened, sometimes there were pickpocketers will be there. They will be looting your everything and leaving you empty at the railway station, and sometimes people will be standing there like this to do thinking what to do next. Same way Britishers emptied us, they pickpocket us. That is what is the a drain theory. So what is this deindustrialization? According to everybody concept, that is, yeah, Britishers, that is the East India Company, after that Britishers help us to industrialize, right? Then what is this theory of deindustrialization? Britishers never help us to industrialize. They help us to deindustrialize because India was a land of handicrafts. And we had many karanas. What is this karanas? Where your guilds system were there in the middle, and many guilds were there. Guilds are the places where this what arms being created, means arms being created, and so what happened is we were having this handicraft industries were there. We are having this guilds were there. So all these things were burned there in India, and why did they come to here to export all these stuffs? So when they implemented their things, they implemented their rules, it was like a blow to the handicraft department in India. It was a blow to girls in India. It was a blow to farmers in India. So totally they did deindustrialization, not industrialization. But we are telling, yeah, they had made progress to it. Yeah, of course they bring railways, they bring a telegram, they bring a phone, all this latest technologies to India. It is for their own benefit, not for the benefit of Indian citizens. Done? So did you understand the theory of deindustrialization? If you have ever been believed that, yeah, they industrialized us, no, it is not true. They have deindustrialized us. Done? Are you able to understand the concepts? I'm rechecking it in between. So what is the political consequences? The political consequence is really interesting. Actually, they helped us. Political consequences of the British rule. What is the political consequences of this British rule? They helped us. How did they help us? They indirectly rooted the spirit of nationalism within Indians. Indirectly rooted spirit of nationalism. Fine. That is, simple humble, I'll be telling you, like before this independence, no, like it was like rajas were being ruling us. One raja does not like another raja, so what will he do? He will go and fight with, that is, one Rajput does not like some other Rajput. There were problems with Marathas and Tipu, Anglo Marathas. You might have come across in him, Anglo Marathas. Fine, this is a wonderful example of the You can say that you might have studied it in political, sorry, history portion, that is Anglo-Maratha War, right? What is it? Not, sorry, not Anglo-Maratha Wars. That is between Britishers and India. That what happened? Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Jay. So sorry, it's very sorry, not Anglo-Maratha War. Uh, yeah, Mysore and Marathas fought each other. So Mysore and both Maharashtra was being in India. But what happened? Mysore, I don't know how that Anglo-Maratha term come. I think I was putting question paper based on something like that. That's why it was being done in the mouth. So that is, sorry for that. Mysore and Marathas, both belonging to India. But what is it? They are enemies. They fought each other. So Marathas seek the help of Anglo, and what happened? Anglo-Mysore War. First Anglo-Mysore War, right? Second Anglo-Mysore. So this was the condition in India. But after the British rule, there was a spirit of nationalism. That is, the Mysorean people, that is the Karnataka people, considered that Maharashtrian people are their bloodhood, their brotherhood. What is our feeling? So what is our feeling while we are watching the India-Pakistan match? Simply, India vs Pakistan. Right? Cricket match. That is a wonderful example of nationalism. We, at that point of time, we won't think, but we belongs to a Hindi belt. We belongs to a South Indian belt. We are Aryans. We are Dravidians. We are not something like that. We speak Hindi. We speak Tamil. We speak Telugu, Malayalam. Nothing like that. What is it? The spirit is that India should win over Pakistan. We are considering Pakistan as a sole enemy. Even from our childhood, it is being like that. Yeah, India is our country, but Pakistan is our enemy nation. Fine. So, especially you can see the spirit of nationalism well in India versus Pakistan match. India win with Australia, fine, we are happy. But India win over Pakistan, what is our condition? We'll be more happy, right? It happens. Seriously, it happens. I think it was during my my plus two or something. There was a world match. Okay, it was between India and Pakistan. I still remember it. There was a match. Okay, instead of writing the exam that previous night, it was that match. It was something world match or something. So it was very important World Cup. Okay, so really, I was very happy to watch it. India was winning over some Pakistan. So India winning over Australia, we are fine. But India winning over Pakistan, what is it? We'll be very much happy, right? More happy, more enthusiasm. So what is it? It is because of the spirit of nationalism. That is what I am also explaining. So this spirit of nationalism, the seeds of the spirit of nationalism was paved by Britishers in India. The very concept of India itself. Did they do directly? No, they did indirectly, but it helped us to get freedom. What was it? The main reason was the centralized India. So Mughals were able to capture up to Deccan, not below that. Okay, but when Britishers come, what happened? They acquired all the territories, like the South Indian belt also was being under the control of this British India. North India plus South India was together. East, West, everything, like home kingdoms also in course of time come under this. So what happened? You got a centralized administration. What you get is a centralized administration. What is the social consequences? Elimination of class or caste system was one of the best things that you are coming across in it. Fine. So let me ask you: does everybody have a copy of this Lakshmikanth textbook? If somebody does not have, let me know so that I'll send you the PDF of it. So I'll post the Lakshmikanth PDF in the group if you don't have the latest edition of the Lakshmikanth. This is a general question, then we'll move to that. What is the social consequences? Yeah, so I'll send it. I think if you're not having, let me know. Otherwise I don't want to send it now. If not, I'll be sending it by today or tomorrow. I'll be sending this Lakshmikanth 6th edition copy. It is important. If 7th edition is coming, if I'm getting that 7th edition, definitely I'll send you that also. That is very important because in 6th edition, apart from the 5th edition, there are addition of 6 chapters. Fine. So what are the social consequences? It is not only the elimination of the caste system, but also what is something known as what is emergence of Indian middle class. Emergence of Indian middle class. So this is something what is very important in India. Emergence of a new system, a new middle class system being emerged, that is known as Indian middle class. And what happened? Emergence of a new religion. So Christianity was there in India before also, but it spread. Destruction of traditional education system, introduction of new education system. See, it is one of the reasons why B.R. Ambedkar was able to study. Even though he faced many humiliations during his studies. Have you ever gone to the history of B.R. Ambedkar? There is a movie known as B.R. Ambedkar. If you are not happened to watch it, no, please do watch it. It really, it is like a documentary thing. It is like more or less like a new movie. There was I think it was in Hindi. The language was Hindi, and bilingual it is English also there. So please do watch it. No, you get many parts of history over there. You get a clear-cut idea on it. It is one of the wonderful movies which you can see. So now, why this see the social consequences, economic consequences, and political consequences was result of something. What was it? That is the development of the constitutional. All these things happened because of the constitutional. Remember the term, the constitutional development from, yeah, it is with Mammootty also. There is with some other actor also. I don't remember the actor's name, but that movie is one movie is that English movie that is also well discussing the this things. Watching that movie like 1 hour, 2 hours is not a waste of time. You get a clear cut idea on it. And Safari Channel always discuss some historical perspectives will be discussed of world history and all. No, if you ever happen to watch the episode, you may get it in YouTube and all. Just go and browse about the World War and all. With Nazism picture itself, no, they will be showing the videos and explaining the things. Like you get a picturesque representation of what happened. That is also one of the educational channels which you can really rely upon, Safari. And so, what happened? Why all these things emerge? That is, you get a political and consequences, economic consequences, and you also get something known as constitutional development. So, why? Sorry, social consequence. All these things happen because of, yeah, web series are there. That's right. It all happened because of this. What? Because of the constitutional development from the economic consequences, social consequences, and political consequences that we discussed so far is a result from the 1773 to 1853. Constitutional plus 1853 to 1858, you can say 1858 to 1861 to 1947. This is a 2 phases. These 2 phases really helped it. Now we are going to see this 2 phases. Yes, women empowerment, everything is a consequences on that. So you get a basic idea on everything, right? Now we are going to see the important things of this chapter. So companies rule, we are dividing two types, right? That is, the historical underpinnings is being divided into two era or two parts. Okay, that is, these are the three important acts, six important acts has been given. These are the important six acts you should never skip. Fine. So we can divide the era into two. The first era is companies rule, that is from 1773 to 1858, and that is crown rule, that is 1850. Other different eras or different types, that is company rule is from 1773 to 1858. Crown rule is from 1858 to 1947. Fine. Done. So this is how the two-way it is being developed. Two-way it is being discussed. So let me tell you once more, this is not same as what I have taken for the NCERT compilation. That was NCERT compilation also. So in this, you have to study six acts, important six acts. I've given it. So Regulating Act, PITS India Act, Charters Act, and Government of India Act, Indian Council Act, and Independence Act. This is how you can just divide at the entire rule. The first phase is from 1773 to 1858 and 1858 to 1947. So what is it? So when you're coming to the, it history start in 600. What happened 600? In 1600, what happened? In 1600, the British Queen proclaimed that it give a charter act. Through a charter act, it is something very quite famous in this British era. UK now it's all, now also you can see different type of charter acts. What it authorized a company to go and do trade in India. Some traders were allowed to trade with India. This is the beginning of the establishment of it. So what is this Charter Acts? So every time you might have heard about Charter Act, Charter Act, Charter Act of 1858, Charter Act of 1853, and so on. So what is this Charter Act is all about? What is this Charter Act? Do anybody have an idea of what is a Charter Act is all? What is this Charter Act? What is the meaning of this Charter Act? It is, you can say it as a organic law of a city. Trade rules. No, Charter Act is not trade rules. It is an organic law of a city, which is drafted by or under authority emanating from the state legislature. So state legislature is giving you a set of organic rule by which you can rule a city or you can rule a place is known as Charter Act. So everything will be ruled by the city's jurisdiction. So that is known as Charter Act. It is an organic law of a city which is being established or which is being given by the state legislature. Fine. So never ever tell it is not a trade rules. Did you understand what is a Charter Act is all about? Fine. So what happened means in 1600 this Queen given authority to every India, means some of the traders to come and have trade relationship with India. Once they come and had a trade relationship with India, what happened means they earned enormously and they went to England and buy large amount of estate and so on. So by seeing this, so every people was attracted towards India. So they wanted, okay, we will also go and we will do it. So what happened in 1772? So now we are going to study the story of this Regulating Act of 1773. Fine. So this England, the government was also getting nearly 40,000 pound every year. England was getting nearly 40,000 pounds every year. fine. I'm just finishing them for mine. So 40,000, 40,000 as a share, the pounds they were getting as shares. Okay. So what happened means, so the company was having enough money, so they wanted more trade to be done. So they thought, okay, we'll go and have a loan from this government. So they went and approached the government and they got the loan. So this is where you can see the eminence of the emergence of Regulating Act of 1773. And what happened means, they approved this 1 lakh, they went for this 1 lakh pound on something. So they got 1 lakh pound. And do you know who's the person who, so Lord Norton, then the Prime Minister has appointed a committee known as Secret Enquiry Committee. Secret Enquiry Committee was being appointed by him. Secret Enquiry Committee was being appointed. Is it right now? Okay. Is it fine now? Yeah, I hope it's fine now. In between anything, just let me know. Fine. So the Secret Enquiry Committee was being appointed in 1772, and which resulted in the formation of this Regulating Act of 1773. This was just the landmark act. This is the beginning of things. Why? Because this is the first step of control and regulation by East India Company in India. This is the first step of control and regulation by East India Company in India. It was designated by the Governor of Bengal as Governor of General of Bengal. So it was like, before it was like the Bengal, Fort William, he was being ruler. Then after that, what he got? He got promoted as the Governor General of Bengal. Who was he? Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of Bengal. Fine. And it also led to the establishment of a Supreme Court at Fort William in 1774. Ilyas Imbe was the first Supreme Court judge. Ilyas Imbe was the first Supreme Court judge. Do you face that it is stucking or something like that right now? Do you face any technical errors? Ilyas Imbe. Do you face any technical errors? Ilyas Imbe. Yeah, fine. So it is going on. So we are watching this Regulating Act. We'll back to this Regulating Act. So these are set of rules. And it also created an executive council with 4 members. Executive council with 4 members. I didn't write it. Please do write it. Executive council with 4 members. I'll tell you. So Regulating Act is equal to Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to GB Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to GBS. What is this GBS? Governor General of Bengal and established the Supreme Court. You can simply record it as GBS. Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to GBS. Simply remember it. Governor General of Bengal and establishment of Supreme Court. Who was it? The first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings, and he became it. And it was Fort William. Fort William was at Calcutta. Okay. So it comprises of one judge, one chief justice, and 3 other judges. It also prohibited the servants of company from engaging any private trade or accepting bribes. Or you can write as, we already studied what we have seen in Regulating Act is equal to GBS not equal to bribe. Simply some were just noted like this itself. Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to GBS not equal to bribe. What is it? Governor General of Bengal, Supreme Court, not bribe means that is, it prohibited the servants of company from engaging in any private trade or accepting bribe. So Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to like this. So this is something very important to be noted. So do you get the code for this Regulating Act of 1773? I hope you never forget it. That is, Regulating Act of 1773 is equal to GBS not equal to bribe. No bribe. Fine. Now we'll see the Act of Settlement of 1781. It is also known as Amendment Act of 1781. Act of Settlement of now also known as Amendment Act of 1781. So if you are following this notes itself, write it. If not, write that in Lakshmikanth, please do write Regulating Act is equal to GBS not equal to bribe. So everything is being included in this structure itself. GBS not equal to bribe is equal to Regulating Act of 1773. So what is this Act of Settlement, or that is? So it defines the jurisdiction of court. So what is the function of court is being decided by Act of Settlement is equal to court settled. Act of settlement, simply you can say that court settled. Act of settlement is equal to court settled, means it is for the first time the jurisdiction of the court was defined. Means what is the rule, or what are the things it has to be ruled. What are the functions of a court is being decided. And also you cannot go and approach the governments over here. So any problems or things which is being created problem by this Governor General need not be refer with the Supreme Court. Fine. So that is the Act of Settlement of 1781. So did you get Act of Settlement of 1781 is equal to court settled? Related to courts all along, because Governor General, any problem or cases with Governor General cannot be registered with the Supreme Court. Jurisdiction of court, what is court, what is the purpose of court is being defined. Also, the public servants, their official capacities be exempted from jurisdiction of SC. SC cannot simply go and interfere with the official matters. So fine, Act of Settlement is equal to court settled. Done. So we'll look to the next act. The official capacities be exempted. Fine. Now we are going to see the next act of the government. Pitt's India Act, which is the year which Pitt's India Act was passed. Pitt's India Act is passed in the year 1784. So till this time, both the commercial and political function was being performed. So we're having stopped. Okay, Pitt's India Act of 1784. Yes, it was completely a private company. The British government wanted to curb the corruption of the company means, yes, of course, it was completely a private company. So what happened means this private company was being going on without ruling anything. They are doing whatever malpractice is being practiced. And of course, the government itself was much enjoyed by the money they are getting. So they thought, okay, we'll come and enjoy the benefits. So as distinguished commercial, so what is it? Till this time, the entire function of the government, both the commercial, even it is political, everything was being done by this East India Company. But now onwards, it is being divided or distinguished between two. That is, one will be ruled by the commercial things and the political functions are being separated. Court of Directors to manage. It also created a new body. It created a new body called a Board of Control to manage all the political affairs, like a double government. Not diarchy, but a double government, the system of double government. You can see the system of double government in Fits India Act of 1784. Fine. Now onwards, the company, this is very important. Why? Because this is for the first time the India is addressed as British possession in India. Now, and the other one is the company was under the control of the British government. It empowered Board of Control to supervise and direct all the operations of the civil and military government. So every civil plus military things will be controlled by the government. And very other important thing is you have to notice British possession in India. The word was being firstly or mostly for the first time being used in the country. So any doubt, anything you can just ask me. Fine. I hope you're clear with this. It's in the Act of 1784. Do you have the copy of Lakshmikanth with you right now? Do someone have the copy of Lakshmikanth with you right now? So, if you have a fair handed copy of Lakshmikanth during this session of Lakshmikanth, please do bring it, okay? Please do bring Lakshmikanth textbook. If you are having a hard copy, please do take it and keep it with you in hand, because some pages I'll tell you to study. Please do note it because you get it for examination. That's why. Now we are going to see another important act is Charter Act of 1833. Three. This you can call it as 3G. What is this 3G? Charter Act of this is 3GI or 3GI. Simply you just Charter Act of 1833 made the Governor General of Bengal as Governor General of India. So you can just address it 3GI or 3G. Whatever you please ready. 3GI. Charter Act of 1833. 3 is Charter Act. That is 3GI is Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. Fine. This is something very, very relevant and very, very interesting. Fine. Please do write the shortcuts and keep it somewhere. No. At the end of the day, this shortcuts is really going to help you out for the acts and all. Otherwise, no, you will yourself will be confused. Every act will be looking similar, same, and when you write the examination, it happens. And what happened? So somebody is made as a great person in entire India. See, he automatically gets the control, he get the power. So here also it happened that the Governor General of India, that is 1765 to 1772, there was no concept of dual government. That entire thing was being ruled by the British East India Company. Better, yeah, I think your year might have been changed. Recheck the question bar. There was a double government. Double government is like, yeah, one for the military things, sorry, one for the commercial purpose, one for the other thing. You see it in the Pitt's India Act of 1784. Okay, it is in 84. 1765 to 1772, the British was like what? They don't have any complete control over the some parts of the area they were ruling. Yeah, they tried to accumulate the rest of the area. That was a condition. Done. Uh, So I think you might have changed the years. That's what I feel. If something is like that, is there? I haven't heard it. Okay, if something is like that, definitely I'll just cross check your question with some thing. But according to my knowledge, there is not something like that. Fine, no issue. We'll deal with the next okay charter act we are being dividing in. Okay, so 3GC. So 3G, we already know what is this 3G is all about. The next code you are going to add here is the next letter you can add here is, what was another thing? 3GA. Charter Act of 1833 is equal to 3GA. What is this? 3 is for Charter Act of 1833. G is for Governor General to or GIA. You write 3GIA. Fine, whichever is fine for you to remember. GI is like Governor General of India equal to administrative power. Complete administrative power, you get it. So anymore the company does not have the commercial activity all along. Now it is a political entity. Political power which is looking after your administrative purpose. So Charter Act is equal to 3GIA or 3GA. Simple code, that is enough. You get other things. So there was separation of power between, that is the Madras province and the other one, that is the Bombay province, come under this Governor General of Bengal. Sorry, Governor General of India. Fine. Together they are all subordinate to it. And for every civil service person, it is very important. Why? Why? What was it? It is also the final step to centralization in India. What is it? Because it established open competition for civil service examination. Open competition to civil service. Fine. So this is about the Charter Act of 1833. Simple, humble act. You get it. Once more, we'll see to it. Governor General of India, what happened? He became the entire administrative or authority of the central government. Now onwards, every power is with him. An act made up GGB as GGI, Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. Now onwards, he is having all civil and military powers. Okay. And this is like the first step towards centralization. Sorry, this is towards the first step of centralization in India. Final step. What was the first step? First step was from 1773. Now it is this. So this is like an era. Done. So do you have Lakshmikanth with you? Now we'll see another act, Rabbi, that is Charter Act of 1853. So now onwards, first time here hearing two important words, that is legislative. Yeah, okay. Do you have it with you? If you're having it with you, no, just please do keep it. I'll at the end of the section, I'll just tell you to mark something in Lakshmikanth. Fine. Charter Act of 1853. You are hearing two terms for the first time. The first term is legislative, then the second term is executive function. The first term is legislative, the second term is executive function. So two type of functions you are giving, legislative and executive function. You are hearing it for the first time. It provided 6 new members to the provisional governments. You can see it: Madras, Bombay, Bengal and Agra. First time the local representation was allowed in Indian Legislative Council. For the first time, local representation was allowed in Indian Legislative Council. First time local representation. So this is very important because of this thing. So you mostly get this statement for your prelims, PT. So the concept of mini parliament, that is the legislative wing acted as a mini parliament. You know what is a parliament is all about. Fine. This is time it is open to Indians also. This civil service examination was open to Indian also this time. Okay. Introduced an open competition system of selection and recruitment of civil servants. In Charter Act of 1833, what happened? They attempted to introduce a system, but it was not a full-fledged. Okay. And they recommended that India should not be debarred from any position, but in it come in full-fledged effect in this 1853. So when you are coming to this open competition system of selection and recruitment of civil servants, we always go for this Charter Act of 1853 as an option. Done. It allowed what? It extended companies rule. It extended companies rule and allowed it to retain the possession of Indian territories. It represented the first time local representation in Indian Council, Central Legislative Assembly. Fine. So are you able to understand the entire system of Charter Act of 1853? Right? Now we are going to see the next set of rules after this Charter Act of 1858. So this is the second phase. We've seen the first phase. Now we are going to see the second phase. So it provided that you are going to rule in name of or governing in the name of majesty. This Governor General now onwards, you are addressing him as Viceroy. So Viceroy was the Governor General before. Now onwards, that is after the Charter Act of 1853, the thing was being fine.
With Biju's app, children remember their concepts.
So what happened? The Charter Act of 1858, we begin the second state. Fine. So everything was provided in the name of Her Majesty. In between this ad sound has been coming. I don't know what happened. See, there is no basic difference between Viceroy and Governor General. Okay. So till this act, it was Governor General. After this act, it gave a new term that is known as Viceroy. That's all. And it also added number of members to, like you were added. No, there is not any difference. Why this act came to be is because of the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. Okay, what happened during 1857? 1857, they understand clearly that Indians still have the spirit together, and they considered Mughal empires as the supreme thing still now. So what you have to do? You just have to have the complete sole authority with them. That is like you are going to be the top things. You are going to have a good government. So still that time, they understand that we were not governing in good terms. That is why this mutiny has been errored. Before 1857 also, there was another mutiny that is known as Vellore Mutiny. Meerut, yeah. It started with Meerut. So there was another mutiny known as the Vellore Mutiny. So all these mutinies, what were they being telling? Yeah, what does the Britishers understand about from this? You are not governing in this. If it is going that, other peoples also will revolt, and we have to get being failed. This is a in 1806, yes, Vellore Mutiny. Right. So this evidences that, yeah, you are having a bad experience. Definitely, these people always think about as Indians only, and they are not treating us well. Why? They think like day and night. They arrived at a conclusion that you are not ruling. If somebody in India also, if some part is not ruling us in a good way, definitely be opposite, right? So that is the same opposing you are seeing. So now onwards, we want to have a good governance. With this in your mind, the Charter Act of 1858 was being introduced. It ended the double system of government. This is where you are seeing the double system of abolition of board of control and court of directors. Somebody asked me what is the difference between Viceroy and Governor General of India. Basically, there was no difference between it. But one thing you have to remember that hereafter the post Viceroy is more powerful than Governor General. Why? In power terms, because there is no restriction from board of controls and board of directors. Everything is belonging to them itself. And Lord Canning is the first Viceroy of India. So 1858 onwards, you are still seeing this Viceroy. Fine. Done. It also created a new office, a new state, and that is known as the Secretary for India. A new position was being held. And this person acted, the Secretary of State for India is acted as a bridge between two persons, that is the British crown and between the India viceroy. So he was like a bridge. Fine. Now we are going to see Indian Council Act of 1861, 1892 and 1909. This marked the beginning of representative institutions in India. This is where you are seeing the lawmaking. It acts as the Viceroy of India to what? To this was like a process of decentralization. Here the you never cannot say that. Okay. See, whatever happened in India, this you may not be having, this British Queen may not be having a complete clear-cut idea about what is being happening about it. Namaste. Okay. So, can we say that the British crown was in favor of well-being of Indians, but company only wanted to exploit us? You cannot say it completely true, but in a way it is true, in a way it is false. Then, Mahajati of Patiala. Yeah. Banaras. Fine. Why? Because, yeah, some way they try to give a good Dinakar Rao. Yes, Maharaja of Patiala, Dinakar Rao. What happened? Okay, might be getting it after sometimes. That's what. Okay, so what happened is, yeah, but they definitely know, the crown does not know what is happening in India in exact way. In a way, the crown also want to colonize us. They also want to exploit us because no, they wanted to improve their richness, their wealthness. So if they are not sustaining in India, if we are being overthrown in India, what happened? They won't get this money. They won't get the resources. So they never wanted it to happen. That is the reason why they thought, okay, we'll be having some things to do for the people also. So you can, if you're doing some people, if you're, see, your government which is doing very much mistakes and the government is providing you with 100% full no fees for schools, no food for fully free food to eat, what you do? You don't want to pay a single penny, means money, even 1 rupee to buy a kg of rice in the country, but the government is doing many atrocities. What is the condition? So automatically people have the tendency, you are provided with something, so we'll keep quiet. The whatever the government want, let them do. So this was the approach of the British crown also. We will provide you with something, some bits, like some cut, some biscuits pieces. So please, you be satisfied with that. We will do whatever we want. Fine, I was answering his question. This is the way, but when you're writing an answer, you cannot write it. You have to write a polished answer. Never criticize any political party which is being in rule and never mention the political party name of the political party. You being leftist, rightist or something you like, you be an atheist, but it should not reflect in your paper. No personal perspective should be written in answers. Fine. So this act made the beginning of representative institutions. It also associated with Indians with lawmaking process. It initiated the process of decentralization. You can say that it initiated the process of decentralization and the powers were given back to Bombay and Madras. So what is it? It reversed the centralizing tendency. Before that, by 1773, what happened? Both the Bombay and this Madras came under the Governor General of Bengal. Now it is revising the Centralization Act. Done. Clear with the process, clear with the things? So it also led to the establishments of council in Bengal, Northwestern Province and Punjab. Bengal, Northwestern Province, and the other one that is in Punjab, created new council. So this is all you want to know. We'll move to the next factor, that is Indian Council Act of 1892. What is it? So Satyendranath Sinha is the first member to be in the Indian Viceroy's Council. Okay. It basically increased the number of Indians in the council, that is the non-officials. Okay. And it also increased the functions of the Legislative Council. So you can write that, you can just call it Indian Council Act of 1892 is equal to INF. Indian Council of Act of 1892, you can call it as INF. What is it? Number of additional Indians being added to it. Nomination made on recommendation. You can nominate the people based on recommendation. And what is F? Functions of Legislative Council were increased. So INF is equal to Indian Council Act of 1892. Fine. If you're having any other codes, you can share it. I will also share it. I will also happy to know it. INF. These are all my codes, what I did. See, every act is being introduced because you feel that the other act is having some loopholes. They wanted to strengthen the power. That is the main reason why this 1892 Act was being passed. So they wanted to more centralize the power, right? They wanted to clutch us into the deep root. And what is it? There were recommendation by the people. The people were asking, yeah, please do add Indians also to the council, more Indians to the councils. And so they heard it. Yeah, they thought, okay, we'll give some non-official position to these members and gave it. And Indians were being allowed to the membership council, they demanded for more. That is another reason. That is like so it is budget. It is discussing the budget of my country. So let me discuss. So that is the reason. Indian Council Act of 1892. Fine. Strengthen the British power. They wanted to more centralize it. They wanted to more decentralize the power. Like you wanted to go into the roots of the power. And not only that, this person, that is Indians, asked the Britishers, please do help us. Please do. We wanted more position. We are now watching it. We are working it. Please do give us more position. Fine. So this is mainly you want to know about this. Now we come across something known as Morley-Minto reforms of 1909. What is it? It introduced the system of communist. Yeah, you can say in a way. Yes, that's true. Due to the pressure of newly formed INC International Congress. More than that, due to the pressure of the people, educated classes. So many social revolutionary movements were being there at that time, now simultaneously. Because of that. Now we see the Morley-Minto reforms in 1909. System of communal representation. And for the first time, we are seeing the concept of separate electorate. What is it? What is it? Hindus can vote only for Hindu. Muslim can vote for a Muslim. So this is known as communal representation. And Morley-Minto reforms of 1909, for the first time, it introduced this. And the number of members from the Central Legislative Council was increased from 16 to 60. Done. But even though this was being done, now for the first time, Indians were being added to the Viceroy's Council also. to the executive council, so to the lower council, legislative council, viceroys were being added, but never to the executive council. This is the time when the people were being added to executive council also. No, it's not something related to the Swadeshi movement. Fine. So what is it? Now onwards, you can see the Indian members were being added to the executive council also. Done. So this is for the first time the Association of Indians with Executive Council of Viceroys and Governor. And who was it? Satyendranath Sinha to be a part of this Viceroys Council, right? So this is the act which legalized communalism. When you're writing upon communalism, please do make ensure that you are adding the Smalley-Minto reforms of 1909 legalized communalism. Of 1909 legalized communalism. It is a very important point. It also made a separate, provided for separate representation of presidency, corporation of chamber of commerce, universities and seminars. This is an act which get much of its criticisms. Fine. So, and I actually wanted to scrub this and study. Now we are going to see the next act is, that is Government of India Act 1919, that is Montagu Chelmsford Reform. So now onwards we are like 5 to 6 members were being added. The first one was like, so Lord Minto is always known as the father of communal electrolyte. Lord Minto is known as the father of communal electrolyte. I forgot to mention it. Please do write it. Now we are going to see the Government of India Act 1919. It is also known as Montagu Chelmsford Reform. So now onwards you can see like provincial subjects, central subjects, etc. That is, everything was being under one power. Now it is leading to demarcating separate powers, like transfer of power. See, once thing is being concentrated, it is not like that you can go and check everything. But if the power is being divided between the persons and it is being discussed, what is it? See, every act is being followed by something or other, like 1858. Why? It is because of the revolution. Done? So always the people pressurized the government. So that led to another act. Done? So Government of India Act 1919 Montagu Chelmsford Reform. I basically wanted to summarize this Lakshmikanth. I don't know. And I'm doing it. It is going elaborate. Fine. But you're getting every points right. See, this summary is like, I am not getting what you're mentioning, Sachin. Oh, doctrine of lapse. Yes, doctrine of lapse was there. So this is all things you are. If you combine this 19th period and all combined with history and study. Good afternoon. It's Evening time it is. Good evening. Okay. Anyway, Pradeep, good evening. Fine. So what we are going to see is the central and provincial legislature. Now we are going to see it. The subjects were being divided into two, like that is transferred and reserved subject. Now again it was being divided. Instead of dual govern, the system of double government was being abolished. We see it. Now you are seeing diarchy. The term diarchy is being mentioned it for the first time here in this act. What is it? What is this diarchy? Means a dual system of government. That is, one is being in central level, one government is being ruling. In a provincial level, other one is being ruling. That is it. Under this thing, the provincial subjects were divided into two parts. That is, transferred and reserved subjects. One reserved subject, government was not responsible to the legislative council. The act introduced for the first time bicameralism at center, means two legislature. It also extended the communal representation of separate electorate to 6 Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians and Europeans. So first it was like it was between Muslims and Hindus all along in the 1909. Fine. But from 1919 onwards, it is between 6. It extended to 6 also you can participate. See, you cannot repress a mass protest, okay? Even when you are trying to protest, when you are trying to repress a mass protest, it will come up. That is what history says. When you try to suppress a person, yeah, you are suppressing to the low level, to the high level. What happened? One day you burst out, right? Same time, you are trying to suppress the people more, they will come up with new things. Fine. Yes, that is right. Feeling, but it was in 17 time, that is 1700 time, that is 18th century. See what happened, American Revolution. So many, when you coming to this, what is the time period is all about? Have you heard about world wars? What has been creating it? Yes, they thought same thing would happen in India. That is in 18th century. It was very quite easy. 18th and 19th century. Yes, if you don't give any powers, that is a correct reason. That also you can say as a reason, Sachin. And what is it? What was been going on? World wars. World War had a great impact. 1930. What was it this time? When was the first World War start? So this World War also having many impacts in it. Fine. And almost many revolutions which happened in the rest of the world. The emergence of US. So all these things created. So when you coming to all these steps, no, in the world, the entire world is being pressurizing. So UK thought, England thought that, okay, we may lose all these stuffs if we are not giving some power to the people. That is right. So when you are being pressurized, from every corner, you will feel, okay, so same thing will happen with the government of India also. You are pressuring, the entire people as being pressuring, please, you are not supposed to do. Yes, World War was in 20th century. Yes. So when I'm discussing about that is 1919 and the rest of the countries means 1935 actors coming 1919, all those stuff when you are discussing, no, there you can see the impact of this World War also. That was I'm telling. Yes, they were revealing colonies from them. This all things, no, we'll be studying in coming days. I think I have taken this in history portion. No, now I'm taking politics. So yeah, I will be dealing it in some way. Fine. So pressurized. You are being pressurized from every corner of the world. What happened automatically? Automatically, the government will be okay. Repeatedly, you are going asking. You're asking your father. Simply, I will be telling you. Repeatedly, you are asking your father to give you money to buy something. What will first he may reject. He said, I don't have money, please do go. Second time you say, he said, I don't have money, please do go. But what happened? Definitely daily you are going and pressuring your father, and somehow no, he will find that money and he will give you and tell, okay, just get lost. So this is the same case with every government. When you are pressurizing every government, somehow they have to sustain. For sustenance, what you have to do? You have to give some freedom. You have to give some things. So that is being done and that will be given here. Fine. So the dual system of governments being given, diarchy was introduced in the provincial subjects. It for the first time introduced bicameralism at center. It extended the communal representation of separate electorate to 6 Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians and Europeans. Now, two types under Legislative Council and Legislative Assembly being for the first time. That is bicameralism. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Simple, humble. At that time, it was Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. Legislative Assembly had Lok Sabha, that is having 140 members. Rajya Sabha was having 60 members. That is known as Legislative Council. And that's it. It for the first time divided the provincial budgets. Provincial area means states. Okay, provinces sometimes you can, it is similar to the states what we have right now. So the power is being divided from the central budget and authorized provincial legislature to enact their budgets. Fine. So this is what you want to know about in it. The government of, okay, fine. Diarchy means two type of government. Simple, dual governance. Diarchy is simply dual governance. So in India, who is being ruling? We are having a central government is there, a state. Yes, some states to have bicameralism. That is, in central government, who is being ruling? Central ministry is being ruling. In state, you belongs to which? In Maharashtra, it is being ruled by a Marathian government, right? Kerala is ruled by a CPM government right now, and Tamil Nadu is by ADMK. So every party is being ruling every state, right? So what is it? There is two powers. In central, there is one power. In state, it is ruled by another power. And the same concept is known as diarchy. It was in the era of pre-independence. That is, in central government was there, as central government there was there. In province, there was a provincial government. Province is something like state, okay. Now we are having state. At that time, it is known as province, that you remember. Now it is state, it was province before. So a province is being divided by provincial. They conducted elections or something they have conducted, and somebody will be ruling in the province. Somebody will be ruling in the central thing. So many things, central administration will be taking power, and in state will be having some administrative power. So that has happened with the state government. So, and it also introduced bicameralism, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha for the first time in the central itself. Like it at that point, it is known as, see the concept. See, I'm not telling this is similar. You wanted to explain that in terms. That is why I told you it is similar. Okay. Don't think that it is, at that point of time, it was known as diarchy. Simply that two government, scheme of two government, dual governance is known as diarchy. Fine. You understand? Yeah, I know that you may be thinking that it is federal government. Yes, fine. The concept is known as federal. So the basic introduction of that kind of, not the same one what we are practicing right now. Okay, don't think that that was similar to this. No, nothing way. But something like this. So for easy understand, I told you, for making you more understanding, I told you like it's similar way. It was like the all form of government. Fine. That is the diarchical system. Now we will see the Government of India Act 1935. It created for an all India federation for the first time, and that complete responsible India. provinces, princely states. So separate two terms you can see, provinces and princely states as units. Fine. And it also gives three lists, that is federal list, provincial list and concurrent list. So what is this? Some subjects are being given. Subjects means like law, order, like finance, commerce, all those stuffs right now, like roads, education, all these things is known as subjects. Like subjects means education is a subject. Fine. Transport is a subject. So this has been divided into three lists, and that list include a known as federal list, provincial list and concurrent list. Fine. But unfortunately, all India Federation means all Indian states. Like, see, we are having India as a whole state, but at that point of time, some provinces, some of the provinces were under control of it, Indian government, but princely states was there. What is this princely state? Like Travancore. Travancore is a state never wanted to join with India. Hyderabad. These are all the princely states. So the central government asked these princely states to join to India so that you can create a India like a federation. Like in United States, it is a federation. Like India is not a complete federal state. India is a quasi-federal state. What happened in a federation or in a federal states? You will be having separate government at the thing, and you will be having a central government. You will be having a dual citizenship. You are the citizens of this province. You are the citizens of the country also. Fine. So that is known as federation. Federation means a unit. All together we are joining together to make the concept of India. So that is its establishment for All India Federation, and it consisting of provinces and princely states as units, but never it happened because the princely states never agreed to join it. They wanted to remain independent. The Travancore state, no, even at the last time of after independence also they wanted to remain it. So this is where you see the role of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He used iron methods. He used many methods to what? To bring everything under his control. And Independence Act of 1947, it ended the British rule in India and declared India as an independent and sovereign state from 1940. It provided for the partition of India, fine, and adoption of a constitution. So this is it. Even though this 1935 Act never came into be in a full-fledged manner, or it had never been there, fine, we are happy to study all this stuff. So this is about the Indian Independence Act. Now, so now we are going to see the next. Next thing, that is the making of constitution. Making of the constitution. This is the second topic what we are going to deal with. So the Constitution Assembly was constituted in 1946 November. So the Constitution Assembly itself was constituted in 1946 November. Fine. For the first time. The total strength Fine. So the total strength, please do write it. Short notes, this will really help you out. Total strength is 389. Fine. We can see, like, you can just divide it like this. British India, it was 296. Princely States, 93. Then British Indian states were further divided into provinces. There was having a governor to some provinces, and it is known as 292 were the princely states. Chief Commissioner, 4 Chief Commissioner were there. That is, in British India, there were provinces. In provinces, it was being ruled by governor. In princely state, it was being ruled by Chief Commissioner. Fine. So the Chief Commissioner was in 4 places. The 4 places include Ajmer. Please do write it. Ajmer, Delhi, Ajmer, Delhi, Kashmir, Coorg and Baluchistan. Fine, this is the way it has been there. Total strength is 389. British India, it was divided into 296. It was ruled by governor. There were 292 governors being there, and it was being again divided into princely states like 93. Chief Commissioner was being ruled. So when did this Constituent Assembly made its first meeting? The Constituent Assembly made its first meeting on December 9, 1946. Fine. But the Muslim League, they told that we don't wanted to be part of this all this stuff. Muslim League boycotted the first meeting of this Constituent Assembly. So the first meeting was only attended by 211 members. What is this? We are going to see the working of the Constituent Assembly. So what happened? An interterm government was being formed by, before that what happened? A Constituent Assembly was a partly elected Constituent Assembly was being created. Partly elected Constituent Assembly was being created, and they were partly nominated body. Okay. So with these people, they decided to make a working of the constitution, making a constituent body, Constituent Assembly, and it was held in first meeting in 1946. But only 211 members participated in it. Completely the Muslim League told, we are not interested for all these steps, get lost, because they wanted it. And it made Dr. Sachidananda Sinha as a temporary president. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha become the temporary president. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha become a temporary president. For this short time, after December 11, 1946, Rajendra Prasad become the president. So, B.N. Rao. Sir B.N. Rao become the constitutional advisor between India and Pakistan. So what happened? After there was a partition, in that point of time, B.N. Rao become the constitutional advisor. Done? So what was the objective resolution? You can see that. Simply, humbly, they say that India is no more a dependent state. India is an independent state. The first objective resolution is like India is an independent state. Proclaim India as an independent state. See, we are doing the summarization parts. That's why we are just crisping the things. This is enough. So all the powers are derived from people. All the power of the government, central or state, is being divided from the power. It also decided to guarantee economic justice, social, economic, and political equality, status, opportunity before law, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, belief, faith, worship, vocation, association, and action. So, simply, humbly, it decided justice to declared objective resolution is like it guaranteed and secured all the people of India with justice, social, economic, and political equality of status, of opportunity, and before law, freedom of thought and expression, belief, faith, worship, and vocation, association, and action. So it also decided to give protection to minorities. So these are the main objective resolutions of the Indian independence, this constitution. Okay. So this, based on this principle, it worked. Protection of minorities, maintaining integrity of territory of republic, and also declare sovereign rights. To maintain the integrity of territory. Integrity of territory. Okay. So this is the 5-6 objective resolution I told you. Please do mention it. Please do remember it. That is enough. Now we are going to see some committees. So this is where I have asked you. You have Lakshmikanth with you. Please do take it. Please do mark this committees over here. It will definitely help you. See, all these stuffs is not by important and all. Whatever is important, whatever is being asking from this chapter is this committees only. The first thing is, I think this is the new Lakshmikanth. You get it. The page is not being mentioned here. Fine. Okay, fine. Mark committees of the Constituent Assembly as important. Just mark it as important. Yeah, I'm marking it. Major committees. Please do mark it important. This is this is the things what you required from the second chapter. Okay, whatever the points I have told you, and this will help you to crack it prelims. Major committees, that is Union Power Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Union Constitution Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Provincial Constitution Committee, Sardar Patel, Drafting Committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights. Fine. Then, and they were having 5 subcommittees. Rules of Procedure Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. State Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru Steering Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So this is the 8 important things you have to mark as such. Done. The second time is minor committees. This is not much important. Okay, just strike it off. Not important and all. Hardly they asked. So don't waste your time by studying it. You never get such benefits from it. All the committee of Constituent Assembly important was drafting committee. And I have given already, but you have to remember 7 members were there. That is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, N. Rajgopala Swami Iyengar, Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer, Dr. K.N. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Syedullah. So please do mark it important. This minor committee, completely you just leave it like that. Major committee and the head name. If suppose they asked it, this is the thing what they are going to ask, not more than that or more than less than that. Fine. So this and all, no need to read it all. This statement is important for your prelims. Constitution as adopted on 26th November 1949 contained preamble, 395 articles, 8 schedules. So the preamble was enacted after the entire constitution was already enacted. Please do mark this point. This and all you don't want at all, read. This is not required. So there are some criticism on the Constituent Assembly. You get it for mains, okay. This topic, you get it for mains. Fine. It is the main criticism was like it was not a representative body because it was partially elected only. Not everybody, not every Indian directly participate. Or simply it was by an indirect election, not by a direct election at all. It is not considered as a sovereign body because why? Because it was created by the proposals made by the British government. British government asked you to do so, they did it. So it is one of the greatest criticism you are getting on it. Fine. So it was like time consuming. It is one of the largest constitution and it takes a lot of time. And it was dominated by Congress. That is another criticism. Lower political domination means lower parties dominated by Hindus or less number of other castes being participated. So this is it. So this and all you see if you are preparing for some other examinations like not for prelims means UPSC, you are preparing for this EPFO examination or other UPSC examination, please do read it. For UPSC examination, they change the pattern, so they won't ask all these stuffs right now. Now you have to read from this chapter is interim government. First session, second session and all. So something known as interim government will be there. I have seen it somewhere here. I don't know. Yeah, interim government. It was in the first chapter. Okay, first chapter. There is a column known as interim government. Please do note it and read it. So this interim government in the first chapter, this column is important. Okay. Please do go through, looking through it. The rest of the thing is not important and all, but this is important. They may ask it. The rest of the things you would read or not read, no use. Fine. So you get what to read in these chapters, in these 2 chapters. Tomorrow we'll discuss on this. We'll see the preamble of the Constitution, salient features of the Constitution, and the other one, preamble of the Constitution. We'll discuss it. Fine. So the schedules and all we have to see. The schedules and all is important. Okay. You basically you should have an idea what the schedule is all about. What is the fourth schedule is all about. Just I have created something else here. I am missing it off. So this is like source and from which of the source it is being borrowed. Constitution of India, it is Britain. Parliamentary form of government, rule of law, legislative power, single citizenship, cabinet system, prerogative rights and parliamentary privileges and bicameralism. Constitution of USA, this is things. Fundamental rights, independence of judiciary, judicial review, impeachment of president. Done. Constitution of Ireland, directive principles of state policy, nomination of members to Rajya Sabha and method of election of president. Government of India Act 1985 federal scheme, Office of Governor, Judiciary, Public Service Commission, emergency provisions and administrative details. Then comes this Constitution of South Africa, procedure of amendment, election of members of Rajya Sabha. Constitution of Japan, concept of procedure established by law. Constitution of Australia, concurrent list, freedom of trade, etc. Constitution of Germany, suspension of fundamental rights. Constitution of USSR, fundamental duties, ideals, social justice, etc. Constitution of France, this is it. So these are the things you have to study it. So winding up today's session, we'll see tomorrow at 4 p.m. So today the timing was a bit changed. That's what happened. Like half an hour. No problem. We'll see you tomorrow and we'll do it. So 8 o'clock we can watch in Unacademy platform app platform. Today we are